In the previous two videos about keyframes, I put the cart before the horse on purpose. When you're in your swamp surrounded by alligators, it's hard to remember that your job was to drain the swamp. Well, it's the same thing with this. This keyframes can be so confusing that if you don't know absolutely what you're trying to achieve, you'll get distracted by the results of these keyframes that you don't expect, and that will cause you lots of issues. So now we know what we're trying to achieve. You've seen what we've achieved in the last two videos. Now we take a look in this video on how you actually make that happen by using the shortcut tools. So the first thing I want to do is we have the same setup here, same two files, we have the same timelines. And what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to get this picture down in the corner of the screen. Now, one way you can do that is you go up here and you search for your size. And click on size and position. And you notice right up here we have what's called a preset. We'll put the picture at the bottom left corner. So when I do that, it automatically scales it down. Looks like it's about 1/4 size, and it's in the bottom left corner. Well, although that was simple and easy, it's going to create problems for you. So let's see what the problem is. We activate rotation. And we say we're right here at the beginning of the clip, we're going to set a keyframe right there of 0. Then we're going to come over here, add another keyframe of 90 degrees. Let's make it 90 degrees. Come over here and add another keyframe of minus 180 degrees. That's far enough to demonstrate what's going to happen here. So we go back to the beginning. Let's come out and go back to timelines again. Back to the beginning of the timeline. Notice our picture's invisible. Let's turn off the visibility of that. Let's start the video. I want you to notice a couple of things here. First of all, in the keyframes, we select the keyframe. Right here, we're rotated at 90 degrees, but we're not seeing the picture. Why is that? I have no idea. This program throws stuff on me all the time. I think it's little oddities of the program where the software is not quite right. Bring it over here, I still can't see the picture, right? And the banner is enabled the whole time. Should be able to see it. But anyway, I can still show you the effect I was looking for. Well, let's go ahead and enable these for a second. That didn't seem to have any impact on what we're seeing in the playhead. We're on project, right? Yeah, we're on project, we're not on source. Play the video. I want you to notice that the pivot point is down here at the bottom left-hand corner. You probably don't want that. That's probably not what you wanted. So I want you to notice something here. If I go to clear this, it gives me warning. You want to clear it? And I'll say no for right now. This keyframes. The keyframes up here, once again, if I click on it, so you want to delete them all, and I'll say no. But up here, if I go up here, I don't want to do this bottom left anymore. I go back to defaults. There's no way out of it except to go to defaults. And when you go to defaults, then boom, all your keyframes are gone. So keep that in mind. So for all these reasons, I never use this preset in the corner if I ever want to rotate this image, because it's going to cause you issues. So let's do it the way I do it, and I take the right hand corner, drag it down to the size I want, and I can take the centerpiece and position it where I want. Put it right there. And I can enable the rotation, and that's at 0. We'll set one here at 90. One here at 180. Let's make it minus 180, make it rotate backwards. And that's enough to demonstrate. So go back to beginning. Notice that it starts out at the 90. That's because I didn't have a time frame at the very beginning. You need to add one right here. You need to add a time frame right there at the beginning at the playhead. And that thing should be set to 0. Now when you go ahead and play this, you notice the rotation is where you expect it, around this center point here. So I want you to be aware of that. So that's a little detail that can bite you in the butt. Let's go back to the beginning here. All the way to the beginning. So the next thing I want to point out, I want to go ahead and enable some keyframes to move this thing around the screen. So you enable the keyframes for position, size, and zoom. Now we got a new keyframes timeline here. Notice it does have a beginning point already established. That's linear. We're going from there to, let's say the next point is here. So we add a keyframe there. And we tell it that we want it to be up here at that point in time. I add another one over here. We want it to be down here. We'll add one more, two more actually. One more, we'll put it, add a keyframe, put it up here. And we'll add one more keyframe. We'll put it down here. It's kind of hard to move this around with it rotated. I shouldn't have had it rotated when I started moving everything. So let's go back and look at this. Okay, so you can see the results of that. We want to have a spring action now. If you remember from our previous video, this very first keyframe, I want to change it. So I right click on it. I'm going to the next, I want it to be an erase out. I want it to be elastic. So now we have an elastic motion. And here on the last one, I want that to be from the previous timeline. I want to be ease out with the bounce. So now we should get the effects we're looking for. We'll go back to home, play the video. Did the bungee cord up to there, and it bounced down. So let's go back to beginning. Should be 90. Should be minus 180. First one. So it's easy to get off the track. Okay, so the first one is 90 degrees. The second one, we're going to make it 180, minus 180 is what it says. The third one, going to be 0. So now when we play it, Notice these aren't as graceful as the other videos I did, and that's because I spent more time